pressure ventilation done correctly, 90%, 99% of baby revert back and start breathing. So our motive in this session will be to stimulate you all for the steps like preparation, initial step, positive pressure ventilation, alternate airway, and then chest compression and medication. So first and foremost, if our team or our army is ready with all the equipments and armors, then the half work is done. So preparation is very important in basic neonatal resuscitation part. So first I'll take preparation. Case. And we'll do this in the case sequence. So doctor, with me there are three doctors, one staff nurse for initial preparation. This will be a case wise, so we'll go case wise. If you have any query or I am going very fast or slow, please tell me.
You are called to attend a birth due to fetal distress. How would you prepare for the resuscitation of the babies? As you work, say your thoughts and actions aloud, so I will know what you are thinking and doing.
So I have been called 10 minutes prior for the delivery of the baby. So first up, I'll go and if time permit, I'll do antenatal counseling and then ask 4 questions to the gynecologist. The first one is whether the baby is term or preterm. See, term and preterm is needed. Why? Because which equipment I have to use, I'll aside from this. The second is what is the fluid of colors fluid. This will help me to know whether this is a meconium or non-meconium. Then third is whether the baby is singleton or twins. And the last, is there any complication, antenatal complication in this baby, like this, the baby is having fetal distress. Then I'll go and see the room temperature, switch off the AC if it is on, close the window, start the warmer, assign the duty of the ambulance if required and the other help required. I'll wash my hand, wear the gloves and check the equipments and assign a team. So first I will assign the team. See, in this, behavioral skill is very important. There are 10 points in behavioral skill. First is know your environment. Second, use available information. Third, anticipate plan. Fourth, clearly identify a team and leader. Team and leader is very important because what we see when we go at present, when we go for the delivery, either there is one sister and you are there, or there is no one, you are alone. And 99% we are safe because the babies are normally delivered or the baby normally breathe. But in 1% of cases, what happens? The baby does not breathe and we are in a panic stage because there is no one to help us. So it is very important when you go, assign the work to the team. If there is one sister or two sister or one sister, assign the team, because what happens many times the sisters are not aware of the NRP. So they don't know what to do. They don't know what is suction machine, what is a feeding tube, where is adrenaline. So if you go and priorly teach them what you want in case of emergency, so it will be very helpful. The 5th point is communication effectively, delegate workload optimally, allocate attention wisely, use available resources, call for additional help if needed, and maintain professional behavior. So this behavioral skill I will perform with my colleagues so that you get a bit of stimulation how to do it. Suppose I have been called for the delivery, so I'll assign. I am the team leader. I will not do any work. I'll just keep watch on everyone whether everyone is doing work properly or not. Dr. Shruti, you will do the initial steps if baby required initial steps.
Yes, I will do initial steps if baby requires it.
Dr. Dhruv, you will do positive pressure ventilation if required.
Okay, I will do the positive pressure ventilation if required.
Dr. Kunj, you will do intubation and transmission if required. I'll come with you.
Yes, sir, I'll do.
You are well averse with the condition.
Intubation, yes, sir.
And Betty, sister Betty, you will keep the watch.
Yes, sir.
And take a note of everything. And if required, in the end, you will give the drugs. You will prepare the drugs.
Yes.
See what happened in this. We had a closed loop communication. First, I have given them assigned the work. What they did, they again checked and told me, yes, sir, I will do it. In this case, if Dr. Dhruv is not well versed with positive pressure ventilation, he will tell me, sir, I am not well versed with positive pressure ventilation. Please assign me some other work. So this will help us कि in case of emergency, we know कि who is capable of doing thing. So behavioral skill is very important. And what happens now in current situation, when we go for the call, there is only one sister, or there is no sister, there is a Masi with us. And if we don't have closed loop communication with them, or a cordial relationship, they will, when the baby is not crying or there is some complication, the sister will panic. So better go and build a rapport. Building a rapport is a very important thing. Second, when the work is done, or when you are in between resuscitation, never panic, or be calm. For importance, be calm and compose and talk positively and slowly. Don't go and start shouting. You are not doing this, you are not doing that, because that will demoralize your team. And once the work is done, praise them is very important. So behavioral skill is very important in this part. No, understood everybody? Please say yes, sir, agar audible. So मुझे पता चलेगा कोई सो नहीं रहा है. सब कोई भी इसमें वो नहीं हो रहा है. Okay. Now Now the second important part, what we are going to do is preparation. It will be helpful if you, in your delivery center, you make a list of the preparation. So for the preparation, first we have started the warmer, pre-heat, 2 linens are there. Mohit sir.
Yeah, it's audible, Santosh bhai.
Vardhan, tu samne thi na maine?
हाँ, it's audible.
Audible to you be there. मैं हूँ तारती बच्चे question पूछ रही, because I don't know whether the people are listening or not.
Yes, અને જાતે unmute થઈ શકે છે એમાં. કોઈને doubt હશે તો.
Okay. But बच्चे पूछते रहे.
Okay.
Warmer is there, and then to clear the airway. See, first keep the baby warm, then for the clear airway, then auscultation, then for the oxygenation, ventilation, intubation, medication, and thermodynamics. These are the steps in which you need the different instruments. So for warm, to keep the baby warm, we have 2 linen and the warmer started. Second, to clear the airway, we have a bulb and suction catheter, 10 and 12 inch. Then for auscultation, we have a stethoscope. For oxygenation, we have tubing with flow meter, pulse ox, and pulse oximeter. Then for ventilation, we have positive pressure device, ambu bag, mask size 00 and 1, 0 and corrugated tube for 100% oxygen. For intubation, we have 2 sides of laryngoscope blade, 0, 00 and 1. The 1 is for full term, 0 is for preterm, and 00 is for very extreme preterm babies. Tubes, free size tubes, 2.5, 3 and 3.5. 2.5 is for the less than 1 kg, for 1 to 2 kg, 3, and for more than 2 kg, 3.5 number. And then we have a associate thing like cap, tag, and umbilical catheterization. So in this, the two important things, what we have to check is this AMBU and laryngoscope, whether it is working or not. But the different part of the AMBU is, what is the full form of AMBU? Bolo?
Manual breathing.
Yes. Manual breathing unit. Ambulatory manual breathing unit, self-inflating. So from here we attach expiratory valve, we attach the mask. How to attach the mask? Anti-clockwise. And here there are two openings, one for the corrugated tube to give 100% oxygen, and one for the oxygen to give, and we have to fix this flow at 8 to 10 liters. How to check whether the AMBU is working or not? There are 3 steps. First, feel whether the air is coming or not. Yes, it is coming. Second, close it and see whether the pop-up valve is working or not. This is very important. If pop-up valve does not work, think you are inflating a balloon and just keep inflating a balloon. What will happen? It will burst. Same if this pop-up valve will not work, what will happen? You will give more than 40 mmHg of positive pressure air oxygen to the lungs, and there are high chances that pneumothorax will happen. So this should be work. And the third is self-inflating. So 3 things. First, check whether the air is coming or not. Second, working of the pop-up valve, and third, self-inflating. What to check in laryngoscope? How to attach it? It's a click. And whether it is working or not. It should be, the light should be extreme white. And now we are ready for the baby to come. So we are ready with the initial steps. The baby to deliver. Good.
The baby has been delivered.
Okay. The time is 10:30 p.m. 10:30 a.m. The baby is delivered. I'll ask 3 questions: term, tone, and breathing.
Term is full term. Baby is breathing well.
Okay.
And tone is normal.
So term is full term. The baby, all the criteria are normal. So in this baby, we will require routine care. The first, I'll dry the baby and change the wet linen, and I'll give routine care to the baby. Before that, cap, name tag, and we'll cut the cord clamp. We'll clamp the cord after 30 to 60 seconds after once the baby is delivered. and we'll keep the baby on mother's bare chest. The mother's chest is bare, there is no clothes, and even the babies. So I'll keep the babies on the mother's bare chest like this, and then one cloth to the baby and other cloth for the mother. And in this routine care, our aim is to establish as fast as we can establish breastfeeding and give warmth by skin to skin contact. And we will keep assessing the baby, whether the baby, how the baby's breathing activity and tone is there. This is the routine care. What we did was a routine care. This was the first scenario in which the term, tone and breathing was normal. So we are done with the first step. Everybody is getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, very nice. Carry on.
मैंने बोला
Hello. Hello. चल रहा है नेट चल रहा है
then we will do the suction if required, first in mouth and then in nose. Then we will dry the baby, first face, then abdomen, and then third legs. We will again remove the wet linen. We will stimulate the baby. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we will assess whether the baby is breathing or not.
Baby is breathing.
So in initial steps, what we did, we informed the mother the baby is not crying, not breathing. We have shifted it to the warmer. In warmer, we did 4 things. First, we positioned the baby, then suction, then dried, and then stimulation. In these initial steps, 3 possibilities can happen. First, baby started crying, baby is breathing well, both the side of the chest is going up properly. In this case, we will give observational care. In observational care, we'll shift to the mother's side, and every 15 minutes, we will check the baby's activity, heart rate, and breathing pattern. And we'll provide warmth by skin to skin contact. In second scenario, if the baby is breathing, but there is a labored breathing, in this we will give oxygenation or positive pressure ventilation. In third scenario, if baby is not crying or is not breathing, or there is an apnea or gasping breathing, then we will give positive pressure ventilation. See, positive pressure ventilation, when we start, 2 things we have to do. We have to call for help if you are alone, and second, tell someone to attach the pulse oximeter. Pulse oximeter should be attached in preductal area, right hand, and the reading will come in 1 to 2 minutes, 1 to 30 seconds, and starting में the saturation for 1 minute is 60 to 65, and then every 1 minute by 5 it increases, and by 10 minutes it will increase to 80, 90 to 95. So positive pressure ventilation, we have informed who called the help, we have attached a bit extended, and you will give positive pressure ventilation. Now, for how many seconds you will give this positive pressure ventilation? You will give for 15 seconds. 5 puff. How to give? Breathe 2, 3. 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 For 5 seconds I have given, and then I am checking whether the chest rising there is there or not. So I am asking Kunj whether the chest rise is there or not.
Yes.
No.
Chest up.
No.
No. There is no chest rise.
So there is no chest rising. So I will do corrective steps. In corrective steps, there are 5 letter M, R, S, O, P, A. M for mask reposition and baby's position reposition, and then S for suction, O for opening the mouth, P for increasing the pressure, and A for alternative airway. So first I'll do M, R, mask reposition and baby's reposition, and then I'll give again for 15 seconds. 15 seconds, that is 5 of breathe 2, 3, 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 breathe 2, 3. Is there a chest rise?
No.
There is no chest rise. So what will I do? S and O will suction the mouth and then open the mouth. And again, suction the mouth and then open the mouth. And then again, I'll do for 5 puff, that is 15 seconds. Breathe 2, 3, 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 breathe 2, 3. Is there a chest rise?
No.
No, there is no chest rise. So I'll increase the pressure. Breathe 2, 3, breathe 2, 3, breathe 2, 3, breathe. Breathe 2, 3, breathe 2, 3, breathe 2, 3, breathe 2, 3, breathe 2, 3 for 15 seconds. Is there a chest rise?
Yes, there is a chest rise.
Yes. So there was a chest rise after increasing the pressure. The chest rise can be any time when either it can be when you start, if you are giving proper bag and mask, so from the first only you don't need corrective steps, or in any after correction of any step the bag and mask, the chest rise can happen. So once the chest rise starts, you will have to give for 60 effective ventilation for 60 seconds. Okay, effective ventilation for 60 seconds, and then you will have to check the heart rate. If the heart rate is increasing, there are two scenarios in this: the heart rate is increasing and baby started taking spontaneous breaths. That then what to do? And in other case, the heart rate is less than 60, or the baby is not taking spontaneous breaths. Then what to do? So when the heart rate is more than 100 and baby start taking spontaneous breaths, or the baby is active, that time what we have to do, we will have to slowly wean off this bag and mask. And how to do that? Breathe 2, 3, 4, breathe 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, breathe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then keep the baby on hood box, observe the baby and counsel the parents and this baby need ICU care for observation. In this, what to observe? Baby's activity, heart rate, the breathing pattern, RBS, and convulsions. Well, suppose even after doing positive, increasing the pressure, the heart rate did not increase, the baby's spontaneous respiration is not there, the chest rise is not there. Suppose after increasing the positive pressure ventilation, the chest rise is not there, what to do? This time we will think of alternate airway. We will intubate the baby. As our baby is full term, we will require 3.5 number tube and 1 number laryngoscope to intubate our baby. Intubate our baby. After intubation, we will start doing bag and tube ventilation. We'll see the heart rate. If the heart rate is less than 60, we will tell one of the team member to start CPR. How to do CPR? There are two techniques. The one is the thumb technique, and the one is the two finger technique. The 2 finger technique is obsolete. We don't do now 2 finger technique. We do the thumb technique. How to do it? See, this is the nipple line. This is the nipple line, and just below the nipple line, the 2 thumbs, and the depth should be 1/3 of the chest. And how to count? I'll be giving bag and mask, and he'll be giving the chest compression. 1 and 2 and 3.
1 and 2 and
breathe.
1 and 2 and 3 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 and
breathe. This cycle should be of 1 minute, should contain 90 counts of chest compression and 30 counts of positive pressure ventilation or bag and tube ventilation. In this, when you do the chest compression, कैसे देते हैं बताओ? इधर आ जाओ.
એમાં વિડિયો અને માઇક આવે ને ઈ મ્યુટ કરી દેજે એટલે જો મ્યુટ કરીશ ને એટલે એક એરો આવશે ને ડાર્ક કલર નો અનમ્યુટ હશે ને તો કલર
See, so when you give chest compression, it is very important how to keep your thumb, and it should not be like this on the air. It should be well placed, and when you give chest compression, it should go 1/3 depth in the depth 1.
Santosh, just one thing. Now, as per newer NRP, if you are doing chest compression, you need to have intubated baby. Baby has to be intubated before
Yes,
chest compression.
Yes, sir. We told intubation, but in this we cannot intubate the baby.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay.
So when you give chest compression, it should be 1, and in 1 you go deep, and 2 and 3 and breathe. So in breathe you give positive pressure ventilation. It can be the form of bag and tube. But see my thumb, how they are. It is going in. It is. एक मिनट बदू ने देखा था.
અહીંયા દેખાય છે સર. તમે એ
Okay.
વ્યૂ
So
ક્લિયર
when you go chest compression, it should not be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and this is not supposed to be. It should be attached. It should be placed on the chest. Second, when you do, it should go deep 1/3. 1 ऐसे नहीं करना है 1 and 2 and 3 and कोई फायदा नहीं है. 1 and 2 and 3 and it should be effective. 1 and 2 and 3 and breathe. So this should be continued for 1 minute, and after that we will see the heart rate. If it is less than 60, we will continue this. If it is more than 60, heart rate less than 100, then we will give positive pressure ventilation. And third scenario, if the heart rate is more than 100 but there is no breathing, then also we will continue positive pressure ventilation, but we will stop this chest compression. Suppose even after 1 minute of this, the heart rate is less than 60. That time I'll inform my team to get ready with the medication and how to make medication. See, when in every case, we will have to be ready with our adrenaline 1:1000, which should be diluted in 9 ml of normal saline, and we should be ready. ऐसा नहीं कि जब हमको चाहिए that time the sister or the doctor is making, we are losing a vital time. In this scenario, we should be ready. Therefore, the history is very important. How whether the baby is preterm, term, or any risk factor. How to give while someone is preparing ADRO, when you start chest compression, it is advisable कि if the IV line and when you have to give intratracheal, you have to give 0.5 ml per kg per dose. For how many for resuscitation should be done for minimum 10 minutes before declaring or before informing the parents. 10 minutes resuscitation is must before telling the parents to the resuscitation is successful or not. In special scenarios, like in case of meconium aspiration.
Santosh,
Sir.
you repeat it again for last 2 minutes session. Once you started with epinephrine, and I think there was some, it was stopped, see, so I could not listen. I don't know what about
Okay, sir. Okay,
other
sir.
party. So repeat that stage. From where you started with the drug, see.
Okay.
Okay.
So even after doing positive pressure CPR and the positive pressure ventilation, if the heart rate is less than 60, then when you start the it is an indication to give the drug at ADR drug injection. So while you are giving positive pressure CPR, advise one of your team member to access the IV line, UVC in case we do, and once the UVC we got, we will give the injection adrenaline. The dose, this should be maintained or this should be made prior. ऐसा नहीं है कि once the chest compression started, you are making this. You cannot lose any time in preparing this. So before only you should be ready. This is 1 in 1000, which should be diluted in 9 ml of NS, and that the dose for IV is 0.1 to 0.3 ml per kg per dose, and for the dose for the and the other route this is intratracheal you can give, and the dose is 0.1 to 1 ml per kg per dose. But the effective dose is through the UVC or venous access. So you should give that, and while after giving this also you will have to continue the chest compression, and after 60 seconds of chest compression you will have to see the heart rate. If heart rate is more than 60, then you will have to stop the CPR and continue the positive pressure ventilation. But there is no other drug which is given in NRP. So what are the other case scenarios? 2-3 points I missed. In first one, oxygen. When you start resuscitation, it should be room air, that is 21% oxygen. And when you start positive giving bag and tube, that time 21 to 30% oxygen should be given. Second point, in cases when you start CPR, give the oxygen level at 100%. Other point, in case of preterm, less than 35 weeks, you can start between 21 to 30% and titrate as the baby required. In cases of preterm babies less than 28 weeks, we have a plastic bag to prevent thermoregulation, in which you will have to receive the baby so the heat evaporation does not occur. This is the plastic bag. And And then you will counsel the baby. 2-3 case scenario. What to do in case of meconium? Earlier, in case of meconium, it was advisable to suction. If you can see the meconium, you will have to intubate and suction and then do the initial step. But now it is not advisable. You are not supposed to suction before any. You will have to follow the routine procedure, routine protocol, what we are doing even in case of meconium aspiration. Any questions? I think we are done with the NRP. Hello? Hello? Any questions?
Is suction necessary in all cases?
Suction is not necessary in all cases. If you are seeing there is something in the mouth, or then only you have to suction. Otherwise, suction is not necessary in all cases. If there is no secretion, if you don't suction, it is fine. So in this, what I have tried to teach you is most often all the first, once the babies, if you are called for the delivery, prepare yourself there. See the environment, what equipment are there, how is the nurse trained, and through that you will get the situation how much you have to do and how much the other one will help you. Get well versed with the environment, get your equipments ready, drugs, check your bag and mask, laryngoscope, everything, and be ready, prepare for the baby's delivery. And in this, after that, if the baby is normal, like the tone, term, tone and breathing is there normal, in which 99.9% cases it will occur that you have to give the routine care, you'll have to counsel mother and give routine care. If the baby is not crying or not breathing, the tone is not good, then you will need initial steps. In this also, the maximum number of patients will revive and start breathing. 4 steps in this. First is position, then suction, then position, suction, then drying, and then stimulation. In this, 3 scenarios are there. First, the baby started crying, breathing well, the chest rise is normal. That time you will just need observational care. In second scenario, the baby is the labored breathing is there. Baby need oxygen or CPAP in case of preterm, and term oxygen. And in case the baby is not breathing or apneic or gasping, that is the time when you will have to give positive pressure ventilation. Positive pressure ventilation, the important thing that you will have to see chest rise after 15 seconds. In chest rise, you will have to see, sir, is routine checking of coronary atresia, TEF, endophthalmitis is needed? Yes, it is needed. Kisne pucha? Imran, it is needed. Once your baby, see, that is a step when you have assessed the breathing and the breathing is normal. Once the breathing is normal, your baby is normal, in routine care, you will have to check for the coronary atresia. You will have to do gastric lavage, or you will have to check the patency and anal patency. You, in every cases, you will have to see. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने कर दिया 2 दिन के बाद the gynec will call you कि आपने ये देखा नहीं, which will have a very negative impact. You will have to check. It is a routine, fixed protocol कि आपको करना ही है. ऐसा नहीं है कि you can leave it. ठीक है? Any role of stomach wash? As such, there is no role of stomach wash. The study says there is no role of stomach wash. So where was I started positive pressure ventilation. When you start positive pressure ventilation, you have to do 2 things. You will have to call for help. Tell your sister, tell the sister to call for ambulance or call for help. And second, if there is a pulse ox, attach the pulse ox periductal and start positive pressure ventilation. When you give positive pressure ventilation in this, give first 5 puffs, that will be for 15 seconds, and then see the chest rise. If chest rise is good, continue it for the next 45 seconds, that is 60 seconds. And after that, check the heart rate. If the heart rate increases, that means you have given effective positive pressure ventilation. In these 2 case scenarios will occur. First, your baby will start actively breathing. The color tone improves. you will slowly remove the positive pressure ventilation. If the baby's activity is not good, baby still the tone is not good, or baby is not breathing, the heart rate is less than 100, so you will have to continue, and then it is a indication for chest compression. And when the chest compression start, that time only you'll have to intubate. See, intubation you can do in any step, even in initial steps. If you think the baby is not breathing, the baby's cynos, and even before starting initial step, you can intubate the baby. You can intubate baby anytime. But this, when you intubate the baby, you order your colleague to give you a access of intravenous access. UVC is the best. It can easily you can easily get that. And the only thing, practical approach when you get the, is when you cut it, be careful that you from down you press it, because if you once you cut it, the blood will start oozing out, and in some cases it will be very difficult to control that bleeding because you are already in a state of panic. So better you pinch it, or apply a thread or tie a thread, so that the vessels are constricted. Then you give when you start positive any role of ECG at which point. See, ECG role, IAP is not recommending ECG role in Indians premises or scenario, because it is very difficult to get pulse ox for us. And think of ECG, how we will get ECG in Indian scenario. So the IAP does not recommend ECG after improving from post PP. क्या पूछा? इमरान प्लीज फिर से क्वेश्चन पूछना यार, I forgot to.
After improving from PP, baby should be kept on directly on movement or O2 prongs or hood.
See, baby should be kept on hood or prong. See the temperature, see the breathing pattern, see the saturation. If saturation is more than 85, going 90, 95, then you can remove the oxygen. But you will have, for that you will have to see the saturation of the baby and what is the saturation as per the time. Okay? And if as per the time the saturation is normal, you can remove the oxygen. When you start positive, when you start chest compression, you tell your other colleague to give you IV access and prepare the drug. And chest compression should be given for 1 minute. And after that, you advise for drug. You can give 3 doses of adrenaline, 3 doses of adrenaline, and after 10 minutes of resuscitation, if baby is not revived, the heart rate is not there, you can counsel parents. Even after doing all the efforts, the baby could not be revived. One thing I forgot, how to check the heart rate and for how many seconds you will have to check the heart rate. There are 2 techniques to check the heart rate. Direct stethoscope put on the chest at the apex and count it, or second, feel the umbilical cord. You will have to count it for 6 seconds, and 6 seconds the timer is either on the warmer or on your hand, and then watch and multiply it by 10. So suppose in 6 seconds, and if you're counting it, either you can do like this. If you cannot count, जोर से लो, जो भी है, and if suppose in 6 seconds it is 12, so sorry, 12 into 10, if you do, it will be 120. So the heart rate will be in 1 minute 120. We don't have much time, so 6 seconds is the ideal, and 6 seconds everybody recommended. You will have to check it for 6 seconds. If the heart rate is 3 for 6 seconds, 3 into 10, it will be 30. For 60 seconds, for 1 minute, the heart rate is 30, which is less than 60. So you give the drugs and check whether the heart rate is there or not, and you will advise the ambulance, call and do the counseling. Any other questions? See, if after giving drugs and the baby started spontaneous breathing, the activity is good, the baby started fighting, remove the tube, you can remove it. Okay? If in this, you will have to see the breathing pattern, breathing rate, and whether there is a grunting or apnea or not. Okay? If the breathing is good, the chest rise is good, the baby is active, the color is pink, you can remove the ET tube. Any other questions? कितने जने?
संतोष भाई,
हाँ
आई नीड टू शेयर वन थिंग. एक चीज
हाँ.
बता रहा हूँ. आपका हो गया क्लियर?
हो गया हो गया हो गया.
तो मुझे एक चीज बतानी है. दिस जस्ट फॉर अ प्रैक्टिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. At the time of inserting UVC,
हाँ बे.
many times we get panic that because at the time of inserting UVC, we may find it difficult what is the opening of UAC or UVC. If the expert is there, they can get it find very easily that this is the opening of UVC or this is the opening of UAC. But for primary or secondary DNB, he may get panic and he may insert the UVC in UAC. So I have one very single line take home message for you.
फोटो वीडियो में.
स्क्रीन शेयर होगा संतोष भाई इसमें?
क्या स्क्रीन
Screen
शेयर
share-
होगा ना?
एक मिनट में करता हूँ.
और वीडियो बनाना. दूसरा वाला से सब करना चाहिए.
Can you see my screen?
Yes yes.
Can you see this picture? Identify the umbilical artery or vein. Mohit sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Okay. So can you see the
If you want.
how to identify umbilical artery or vein? So as we all know that there are two artery and one vein. So we know the position, caliber, number, color of the blood, pulsatile flow. That is all theory point of view and practical point of view. We know everything. But at the time of resuscitation, we may get panic, and it may be the possibility that we may insert the UVC in UAC. So when you cut the cord, and if you see just speck of a blood over the vein, so you will not find the blood over the artery, and you may get just single like bindi type of blood or speck of a blood over the vein, and that is your vein. So take home message is bindi or speck of blood over the vein. It will not be there on artery. So you may find it easily vein, and you may insert the umbilical vein. And another message is the catheter in the vein. How will you identify? You may identify according to color of the blood, pulsatile flow, or ease of insertion or from X-ray. But it is not possible to get it done during resuscitation. All four things. So if you find the supraumbilical palpation of a catheter, then you are sure it is a UVC, not a UAC. So these are the two take-home messages from my side for this UVC insertion. First is the supraumbilical palpation of catheter, and just speck of blood over the vein.
I think a very important point which we always see, even being a neonatologist, I always see that there is a pack of blood or thrombosed blood, the black color or red color blood on the UAC, but have been never noticed that this can be so significant and will be very important point to teach. And very valid point. When you cut the cord, you see there is a bindi type of blood. And definitely we will have a pick 1 or 2 and share in the group so that everybody can see it and it will be helpful. When you remove that plug, you will see the opening. Even in that, if you see the lumen of artery and vein, you will come to know the lumen of the vein is very thick. The border of the vein is very thick, and compared to the border of the wall of the artery. Artery's wall is very thick compared to the veins wall. Veins wall will be very thin, and it will be easily dilatable. And plus the bindi point, as you cut the cord, you will see the thick blood, thrombosed blood, that is a bindi. But you will see that in I think a old cord compared to a new cord. In new cord, you will see the blood coming out. So we will definitely get a picture and we will share on the group, and this will help to find which is UAC and which is UVC.
Santosh, there are few questions.
हाँ sir.
एक है Harsh is asking, is suction necessary?
It's a question to be answered by you.
No, it has to be answered by you. Is suction necessary in all cases?
No, I have given all the answers.
कर दिया. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Great.
Expert opinion is needed if you were there in the lecture.
नहीं ठीक है. Okay.
Hopefully this session was fruitful and we did a justice to this session, but I will still advise the dummies with us since last 2 years. I have not seen a single DNB candidate coming and telling us, sir, teach us or give us the dummy we want to practice. Only when we force them, they come for 1 or 2 days, and then what happens, the dummy is utilized only by the consultants. So it will be advice or force for every DNB student to at least once a week they should come and do a practice bag and mass positive pressure ventilation. Nirmal sir, you want to add something or?
Santosh, you have covered the topic very well, and I think most of the points are very well covered as far as the identification of UVC and UVC is concerned. See, these are all theory part is absolutely okay, and we should teach students also. But learning only comes by seeing rather than reading. See,